The color and the tone of the Canadian politics remain the same, which is that they've created ecosystem for the Khalistani sympathizers there. And I would say that this is an alarm bell, though there's no news of anyone being injured. Police and forensic team had reached the spot. Investigation is underway. Sources tell us that Luddy said that he carried out this attack because of some old statement of Kapil Sharma. Now, that is not important. The fact of the matter is that in Canada, if Khalistani terrorists have a free run, I think we in India should have a big problem. Whether the attack was on an Indian or non-Indian, it means that in the Khalistan, idea of Khalistan has found a safe sanctuary in Canada. There is no idea of Khalistan in India. You know, the idea of Khalistan in India was defeated by the patriots of Punjab, the policemen of Punjab, by the patriots of India. So there is no space for imagination of Khalistan in India. There is nothing. But the Canadian politics, which professes of liberal atmosphere, is very illiberal when it comes to Indian interests. So, you know, in name of liberalness, they are harboring terrorism. And I think that's the dichotomy of the Anglo-Saxon democracies, where people who are associated with the acts of terror in name of human right or in name of the rights for the people of the third world countries can find safe haven. And this is the dichotomy in the, I would say, today's world affairs, that we who suffer terrorism have to fight in Canada to prove to our Western counterparts that you are actually providing sanctuaries to those who profess terror ideology, who are not only terror sympathizers but are actually terrorists, and nothing happens to them. I think what can be a bigger joke than this, Krishna?
I was just about to ask you that. One is the fact that, you know, you beautifully put it, the way Canada is illiberal when it comes to Indian interests, despite claiming there must be a liberal country when it comes to the matter of Khalistani terrorism. In this particular instance, it is a Khalistani terrorist attacking not just any Indian, a very famous Indian, one of the most famous Indians. This is a clear message being sent out by Khalistani terrorists, isn't it, Kartikeya? And it is up to the Indian government to ensure that this is taken up with utmost seriousness by the Canadian government.
Absolutely. See, if you look at the visual, I mean to say the firing is random. Let's decode the visual. So the firing is taking place to give a signal. It's not a contact firing that has happened.
Right.
That a person has been pointed at and the bullet has been fired. This is a signal firing. This is to tell you, boss, we are watching you, and any more statement on us, we are going to get you. And you know, I would say that the story is not even about Kapil Sharma's humor. That's irrelevant. The story is about that, you know, Khalistani very casually claims it, that, you know, he has done it. It goes on to show that how compromised the security system of Canada is. And, you know, it also makes me think, are Canadians using Khalistanis as their assets? Are they using terrorists as their assets? For example, late in life of Osama bin Laden became an asset of ISI. The Jaish-e-Mohammed chief, Azhar Masood, is an asset of ISI. So are these Khalistani terrorists assets of the Canadian government? I can just reverse the question. I say, are these radicals assets of the Canadian deep state? I think India should lodge a strong protest. It's not about an individual or an act of intimidation.
Right.
It is about the fact that, you know, you have people who say that they, you know, who are Khalistani terrorists roaming free, firing at will, and sending a message.
Well, Kartikeya, I was only asking about because, you know, in this particular instance, it's a famous Indian, but then we all know the history of attacks on, Indian properties and people in Canada and other countries where Khalistani terrorists do find a safe haven. And the point is that it has reached a stage where they're able to do this. As you rightly said, the firing, the visuals on the screen, it's not contact firing, it's not specifically aimed at somebody. They have the brazenness to say that, you know, you could be the most famous Indian, but if you are here, we will find you and we will target you. And that message is loud and clear. Coming in here at this stage is quite disturbing, isn't it? After all that's been going on between India and Canada, this is going to become a very another important flashpoint.
Absolutely. You see, the Canadian electoral system has been, I would say, has been used in a way whereby very conservative elements have found their way into the Canadian Parliament. You see, in a Canadian electoral system, it runs on the system of nomination. And most of these expats who are Khalistani sympathizers have been able to utilize religious spots in Canada to get their nomination, even if their numbers are not there in terms of demography, but they get more nominations. So the white population end up voting for the radicalized Khalistani sympathizers. You're getting what I mean, Krishna?
Absolutely.
So the game has, they have gamed the electoral system. So, it's something which India can't do much about it. But I think we are only concerned with the fact that why do these people have such safe sanctuaries there
That's
in Canada?
the big question. That's the big question. Why do they have that safe sanctuary? And why isn't the Canadian government doing nothing about it? We'll leave it at that. Thank you, Kartikeya, for joining us for that big story that we're tracking. Moving on to a major development from Bengaluru, where the Enforcement Directorate has conducted raids at 5 locations, including the residence of Congress Party MLA S.N. Subba Reddy. The action comes amidst allegations of undisclosed foreign assets held by Reddy and his family members. Early this morning at 7 a.m., Enforcement Directorate officials arrived in 5 vehicles and began searches at his residence near Marathihalli. 13 personnel, 6 officials and 7 support staff were part of the operation. Sources say that the MLA has bank accounts and business interests in foreign nations including Malaysia, Hong Kong and Germany. The raids are being conducted under violations